Great. All right. So Mr. Hilburn and I will pretty much tag team. Our most important matter right now is COVID. And so we want everybody to feel safe upon returning to Hills Academy. And we just wanted to share some of our safety protocols and also stress the importance of them. So in order for us to stay in school as long as possible, even if Rockdale County decides to make some changes, we want to be healthy and safe for our student body. So we're really excited about this next semester. So, and this will be emailed as a very short PowerPoint. It's only really 2 slides from me and Brian and I, but we will give the floor over to Ms. Brown for PTO after this brief presentation. These are safety protocols that are going to be strictly enforced while we're dealing with COVID this semester. Number one, masks are mandatory. Honestly, this is probably the most difficult of them because a lot of times kids come to school without masks, even though they're required. So parents, that's where we need you all. Please make sure that your student has a mask at all times. And I would highly suggest just throw maybe 5 extra ones in a Ziploc bag in his backpack, just in case, because if they're using those with the elastic, they pop them off, that, you know, they take them off during eating and they pop off. So they're kind of, you know, they're not very durable. So if you're not doing a cloth one and you're doing those paper ones, which are fine, just make sure that you give your son some extra ones. Because Hills Academy will charge $1 a mask. And the reason why we're charging, we have a lot, but it's just to hold our students accountable. So if we don't charge, they will never come to school with a mask. So parents, we just really are asking that you all will supply your students with those masks. In the chat box, because I'm a teacher, in the chat box, put in the chat box, what can we say, Mr. Hilburn, for the parents? If you just say, I will, in the chat box, if you will give your son, make sure he has a mask at school. Just type it in chat box. Just type it in chat. Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So just make sure
I will.
I will. Just thank you guys for that. Okay. And just throw some extra ones in the backpack and let your sons know that those are there. In addition, Hills Academy will provide school sack lunches for at least the month of January. So we always do we do twice a week a sack lunch, and 3 times a week we do warm lunches. But for the month of January, remainder of the month, we're going to just commit to sack lunches, just because we're changing up the movement of our campus and how students rotate and where they have lunches. And so we decided that sack lunches will probably be the safest thing for right now. So if your son wants to bring something other than eating a sack lunch with us, he's welcome to do so. We do have microwaves.
And guys, so that sack lunch will be delivered to their classes. Like we said, we're going to talk about movement in the classroom. We're going to try to keep our kids in their same classroom. The only movement we really want to do is if they're doing movement just in their classroom, or if they're going out, if it's warm enough to go out and do gym outside. So we won't be doing a lot of movement where kids will be crossing. The teachers will be doing the movement and the kids will be standing in the room. So the sack lunch is part of that. So we won't be going to the lunchroom and getting their sack lunches. Those sack lunches will be delivered.
And he mentioned bullet point number 3, grade level lunches. Just for right now, we're going to commit to that. So the students, I don't want you to feel like they're in jail or something like that, where they're just in that room. The teachers are aware that we're dealing with young men who need to move around just for health reasons and just, you know, to get some of that energy out. So it's up to the teacher's discretion. Hey, we're going to go outside, walk a couple L's, run a lap, or just get some fresh air and then go back to our class. So we're aware of that necessity. Number 4, individual grade levels are taught in one room.
Did you see the question, Tim? It was a question about masks being worn outside. Last year, we did not require masks being worn outside. It's safer outside, if you want your child not to wear masks, but we didn't make a mandate when the kids were separated outside for them to have masks on.
Yeah, and according to CDC, if I'm recalling correctly, 3 feet distance. But I think that is a good question, Ms. Williams, given that many of our students are not playing games just 3 feet apart. So we're open to discussion regarding that family, village. But right now we were saying mask off while outside, just to give them that reprieve from the mask. You all are welcome to just figure out, we can, yes, teachers are mandatory to wear a mask as well, vaccinated or not, because we're hearing that doesn't matter with Omicron. It does help with the severity of the symptoms, but it does not relieve us from the spread of it. So the staff is aware of that. Thank you, Ms. James, for asking that question. Yes, and Mr. Hope confirmed that. We're going to continue with our regular temp checks in the morning, and we've had some cases where we double check the kid after lunch. So it's up to our discretion, just if that child needs a second temp check. So we have done that as well. Students must be symptom free. And this is the hard part, is allergies included. If you're a student like my own daughter, she coughs a lot, and it's because of her allergies during certain seasons. Her body fights that allergy by coughing, trying to reject it. But just because it's hard to determine right now, we need to just go symptom free. Symptom free. So that's just going to be a case-by-case parent communication, and we'll make sure that lessons are available for your sons whenever he's exhibiting any type of symptom.
And so to clarify that, because I heard that, I want to make sure parents understood. So my daughter, if she's coughing, even though we know it's an allergy, her private school, we're not going to take her to school just because they may think it's something else. So what we're saying is, if they are having those symptoms, they need to stay at home. They need to stay at home, even if it's an allergy. And that's just because it may be something else, and we're going to be as precautious as possible.
Yeah, our whole point with these is to stay in school. We want to stay in school. We actually prefer to teach your sons face-to-face versus virtually. We thank God for virtual learning because it's allowed us to move forward, but we really need to be working with your sons face-to-face. So our goal is to stay in school and not to do this again for the semester, unless we have to. Regular hand cleaning and sanitation. We have lots of hand sanitizers. So many parents have made donations. So we have that. If you give your son some hand sanitizer and backpacks. So we're going to do that regularly, continue that. This is where a lot of parents are having questions, is the weekly COVID testing through the Department of Public Health. They are offering that. We went through the paperwork and we were approved as a educational entity. They said it's a 7 to 10 day process for all of our paperwork to get solidified. We really were just waiting for parents to register. So right now, last time I checked, we had 52 of our 72 approved people to get to sign up. So I'm going to have to find out, who else needs to sign up, who hasn't. So it's staffing, and a lot of people, they said they're also short staffed. So they just want to make sure that we have as many people signed up so they know how many people to bring to our site. Once that is approved and finalized, we will have from my understanding, thank you. They will tell us our weekly date, and we're getting the PCR test, and the PCR test does take 24 hours, a 24-hour turnaround. So our testing will be every Monday, ideally every Monday, but really it's up to them when they can get in there and let us know. So as soon as I get that information, you all are going to be the first people that I contact as soon as I get it. I've checked my email and I don't have an update. So I'm just being patient, but we are asking that parents will, and I know you guys are agitated with these COVID tests, but this is just for the safety of all of our sons and students. I know it is, Ms. Goodall, trust me, because it includes my own daughter So just if there's some type of medicine that they can take to just alleviate it, specifically that coughing, because that is what, spreads our germs. So even though with the mask, we're just asking that. And this is how we're going to work in this together. Excuse me, let me get rid of my children. Go upstairs, please,
Yeah,
and
I'm
finish
sorry,
your
I'll speak.
laundry.
Someone asked about virtual classes. Now, how it will look, all of our kids have access to our classroom through Google Classroom. And so it's funny, this semester we were going to paper and pencil because we wanted more control and wanted to make sure our kids were getting the academics and getting what they needed. So, but we are still able to go virtual. If your child is not feeling well, what will happen is the assignment will be in Google Classroom. They'll be able to access the assignment. They won't be able to access the class. So like right now, our kids are just like you guys are listening to me. That's how we do our class via Zoom. When we go back to in person, our emphasis will be on the kids in the classroom. So we won't have a camera on us talking while we're trying to talk to the kids in the room. That's not very effective. What we will do is put their lessons on what we're talking about. If there's a video link, we'll connect the video link so they can understand if it's a math lesson or a science lesson. And then the teachers will have office hours if your child has issues with some kind of concept. But what it will do is require some parent intervention, in that if they're working on ELA and they're learning about prepositional phrases or whatever, you may have to get in there and kind of help them understand that. They may have a worksheet, and you as a parent may have to get in and get into teacher mode a little bit and make sure they understand some of those concepts. But we will be in the classroom teaching those students, and we will allow the kids who are not in class to get access to the work, but they just won't have access like the other kids would to that teacher at that time. But we will have teacher hours where they can call you, the parent and the student can call and say, hey, I'm not understanding certain things. Can you work with me?
Yes, and keep in mind that those office hours, reach out to the teacher and let them know, or let her know that you need to see them so we can meet virtually. It will be during your teacher's prep period. So, and I'll address how you'll have that information after this particular slide. So the weekly COVID testing, we're going to let you all know as soon as we know, but we are asking for just one more COVID test, hopefully before coming to school next week. I'm sorry, I'm agitated because I have to go again too. So it's not. Okay, Mr. Hilburn said it's gonna be hard. Okay, Village, let's talk. What you think? Talk to us. Let's make this final decision. How are we gonna do this?
I have a question, if I could ask one, please.
Yes, of course.
Are they just only offering the nasal swab versus the saliva?
Yes, from what I understood, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just happen to prefer the saliva over the nasal, but I was just asking the question. Also, when you all taking the temperature, are you all doing the forehead or the wrist?
We're doing the forehead. Which one is preferable?
Well, it's healthier to do the wrist because you get the same thing. My concern is when you're using that ray, and I've done some studies on that, you're hitting the pineal gland every time you do that. So when I'm in situations where I have to take the temperature, I'm requesting that they do the wrist as opposed to the forehead, because you're actually, that layer is going through your head to the pineal gland.
Okay, thank you. And I know you work in the medical field as well. So, and it may also be better too, even with the cold season and as your students are coming outside, their face might be cooler or whatever. So that's definitely something we will take in consideration and relay to Coach Somerville, who does our morning temp check. Thank you, Ms. Humphrey. Anyone else? Yeah, let's talk about this COVID testing because I mean, we're still going to have these implementations. We're still going to have a mask on. We just want to make it as
Well,
safe as possible so we stay in school. That's it.
My question is, Tiffany, I think that I know we can do the rapid test or the 3-day test. And I know we want to do it, you know, we have a limited amount of time. So school for next week, this is Tuesday, you would have to have a test within 2 days, or it'd be today or tomorrow that you would have to schedule the test for you to get those results back in order to get on campus. So my thing is, are we going to require the 3-day, which certain tests is what I'm saying, because I know we're telling parents right now. And so that'll be, I guess, a dilemma. And I don't know, you parents may all know a place where y'all can go get it tomorrow and we'd be good. Everyone's good. That's great. Best case scenario. So that just, I think hearing from you all, just the resources that we have to do that, so that no one feels in a situation where they got to be stuck at home and trying to figure out how they can get their kids back on campus. And I know, and we did do the 2 weeks because we want to give you guys ample amount of time to be symptom free, to have gone that time as far as quarantining. And we know that the majority of the families on this call, a lot of families were affected over the holiday season with the Omicron variants. And we want to make sure, definitely going to look at the numbers and see if it does like the Delta variant and these other variants and previous, if it has that spike and then it goes down, you know, we'll have a better feeling. But just figuring out which tests we're going to require. And if that's the case, that we're requiring a test, if you guys know of a place you guys can go to tomorrow so you can have that, so that we can start on Monday.
I have a question. Okay.
I heard Ms. Thomas, and then I don't know who's Galaxy S21, but go ahead, Ms. Thomas, and then the Galaxy one can talk.
I have a question. The one that you sent us, that's in McDonough, that's just a walk-in type of situation. You don't make an appointment. You just kind of register and, okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I think that will be the issue. I know like your Walgreens, CVS, you cannot get an appointment with them at all. It's virtually impossible. But those other places, and I think I had sent one, I have to look into that too. So I think that will be the issue for most parents if they just cannot get in, if you do the 3-day. And you got to remember, this is a holiday weekend.
Another
too.
holiday weekend. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Ms. Johnson, and then Galaxy. You can change your name on whoever's the Galaxy one too. Thank you, Ms. Hudson. Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Johnson, it's Ms. Hudson next, and then Ms. Johnson.
Okay. Would that be me, Miss Hudson?
Yes.
Okay, I see that you saw that I unmuted. I was going to wait, but I just wanted to piggyback on what the last person just stated. Like, I was able to register for the link that you gave, and when I called, they said that, you know, you could come at whatever time was good for you and be able to take the test. So I thought that was good. So they didn't give an actual specific time. As long as you register, you have to go in between their hours, and then you should be able to take it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that feedback, Ms. Hudson. Thank you. Ms. Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Some of the children's pediatrician office might be able to do them. Emmanuel's has had 2 COVID tests since all this has been going on. One was before y'all said people had tested positive because he was having some allergy and flu symptoms. So I was just nervous. And then he had taken the one, of course, before y'all were supposed to return back to school before the county decided to shut back down. So, and a lot of offices, well, we go to Dr. Cheryl Manning. So y'all might want to check there, and they'll get them in because they want them to go to school if they need so. Because it's kind of hard to register, and you might not be able to have the time to go to the site in McDonough or anything like that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Ms. Adina, I don't know what the they are having trouble to figure out why we can't receive the email. Ms. James?
Yes, we did the Mako, or however it's pronounced, and you have to actually go on the website and register your email to get your results. They don't email you your results. You have to create an account, and then once you create an account, they'll link your email or your account information with your date of birth, and then they'll send you your results. We had the same issue. And then the urgent care off at exit 84, there's an urgent care right off the exit. They were really jam-packed during the holiday. However, the demand has slowed down a little bit. You can get your COVID test the same day. They open up at 8 o'clock in the morning. If you put your name on the list, they will call you, and then you can just go and show up, and then they'll test you once they call you. So that's been working for us.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, right now the home tests are fine. We're just asking that you do all the regular protocols that they tell you to do. So for right now, we'll accept it unless we hear something otherwise. So from this dialogue right now, I know I have some quiet parents who are just digesting all we're talking about. Are we hearing, yes, you guys feel like it's best that we go ahead and keep the mandatory COVID testing implemented? Is that what we're hearing? Okay, I see one yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it just helps, especially knowing that, hey, they will go outside and play, and they may come within 3 feet of one another. It makes, and then it also helps you all that you feel good. They're going to school. And teachers are also required as well. So Brian and I had to do our test. And I also was not happy when I had to go back and do, because I got my PCR test and I had to drive all the way to McDonough to get it done. So I have to do the same thing. So I'm okay with it. It gives a bit of peace of mind. Okay, thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you. Thank you. So we're gonna move forward with that. At least, hopefully it's gonna be a short time that we have to do this. And then the DPH will take over through Mako. So you guys are already familiar with how Mako works. They'll be our service provider. So we will be doing it with them. And so like I said, as soon as we get that information, we will let you know. So as of right now, yes, COVID tests are still required. A negative COVID test is required to return to school on the day after MLK. Thank you, family, for helping us make that final decision. Only students who are exposed will be isolated for 5 days. By that, we mean we're trying our very best just to isolate grade levels. So then if a student is in 5th grade, but we hear of a case in 6th grade, well, they don't have lunch together, they don't play together, they don't have class together. So the only class that will have to isolate, if it becomes, exposure, a case of exposure, will be just that 6th grade class. So that was how we decided to rectify that, is really eliminate the isolate the groups by grade level. So
and let me speak to that really quickly too, because there are going to be 2 things that's probably going to be a little different, is when the kids come to school and when the kids leave school. And so we don't have all of the areas all the way mapped out. We're still working. We're on campus while we're doing our Zoom
dismissal. Yeah.
And we're going to map that out. So when the kids get there, they're not going to come eat breakfast together. For breakfast, they'll be getting like breakfast bars and things like that. So that'll be something they'll grab and go. So you do want to go ahead and provide them, if they're used to grits and eggs and all that, every now and then we do that at the school. But we won't be doing that just for at least for January, until we see these numbers go down. But they'll be able to get like breakfast bars and things as they go to class, but they'll go directly to class as opposed to us going to the lunchroom and then to doing our devotion in the morning in class, our morning motivator. So they'll be going directly to class. And then also when you guys are coming to pick them up, we'll have the walkie-talkies. Thank you, Gilmore family. And we'll be calling folks out, and then they'll have different routes. You guys will still drive the way you've been driving, but they'll have areas where they come out. So it's not everybody's And like she said, so that'll help us to isolate if somebody they go home and say, hey, I don't feel well, and then they come up positive, we can tell that group of students they have to, they've been exposed, and then we'll go from there with testing.
Yeah. And the last bullet point is we're really asking you guys to let us know if, and staff included, just contact administration. You can email admin@hillsacademyga.com or contact Mr. Hilburn or myself if you are aware of a case, an exposure for your student, and that has been, whether it's in the home or somebody that you were like, yeah, that's close proximity. And we in return will keep that same open communication with you all regarding your sons and his potential exposure. So thank you guys. Our biggest stress on this list is that mask. That was difficult last semester. So a lot of kids just stopped bringing masks. And so we were running out of masks, giving our supplies out to your students. So just make sure that they have those. That will be very, very helpful for us. So thank you, Village. Thank you. That was it for that slide. Are there any additional questions regarding, okay, thank you, Ms. Goodall. And Rockdale does do it like Ms. James said. I have to, I think it's on Main Street, if I'm not mistaken. She said at the main office, but I also saw signs somewhere else, also near CJ Hicks. They look like there's a couple in Rockdale County school system.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not really familiar with the at-home testing. So anybody who is, could you let me know how fast the results come back, and if you all will be keeping those on campus to test students who are symptomatic?
I do have a supply of the test, but my nursing friend with whom I received those from, though they're not expired, they're not picking up on the Omicron variant, the ones that I have. So I don't know how it's picking up on COVID, the first COVID, and I think Delta, but not Omicron. So I'm not yet, I don't feel comfortable using those right now. They're really easy to administer, and you get the test results actually like within 5 minutes, kind of like a pregnancy test. It's really fast.
We can check, Miss Tiffany. I did just speak with her husband at a lunch meeting, and he was saying they do have some. So I don't know if let us check to make sure that if she got a new order of some that may be effective in that. But we do have access to an individual who can give us a nice supply that we can use if a kid comes in and say, hey, I feel sick, that we can give them that test to at least see if anything is wrong,
Yeah, and I might just do it, Miss Brown, use that one and let the parents know, hey, we did give this test, it did come up positive or negative, but if it's negative, just, hey, we're asking you to still just double check if they're still symptomatic. So we can do that, just letting you, because that's what she does. She just says, hey, this one is this particular test. However, I do still suggest going to get a backup test, but it'll get an immediate response whether or not it's the other variant, if it is COVID, just the other variant.
And we'll probably put out something so that you guys can sign a waiver saying it's okay to test your child, because we don't want, your child say, hey, I'm not feeling well. And then, we test the child and the child go home and say, I got tested. We just want to make sure you guys be, full transparency of what, make sure all those checks and balances are in place.
Just
Thank you,
FYI,
CJ.
just
Yes,
FYI, this is, hi guys. Just FYI, this is Miss Hudson, and I have purchased home COVID tests. And I will say, between myself and friends, some of them have come back positive and some of them have come back negative. So they actually do work, and they will give you signs.
Yeah.
So those home tests are effective, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Hudson. And thank you, CJ, too, for your feedback. That will be most helpful as well. So that was that. I see a lot of communication in the chat box. So you guys just take that, and I'll see if I can save that and print this in the chat box dialogue and email that too, because there's a lot of resources that are being shared. So we'll move on from this particular slide. If they're in, feel free, if something comes to mind, just put it in chat. This is just a reminder of what your students must have. We are working very diligently, just working with our parent council. They meet, if you're on the parent council, that they met on Monday evening, this Monday evening. To really work on our school discipline and our parent communication and student expectation. So you'll get some information about that. But these are 4 things that we want you guys to please make sure your sons have. And number 1 is the school uniform. They're mandatory. A lot of kids, I think they tell their parents, no, we don't have to, because they saw like a high school kid, not knowing that the high school is getting reprimanded, and they'll just assume, hey, I'm in 9th grade or I'm in 7th grade, I don't have to wear a uniform. A uniform is a Hills Academy polo, khakis with a drawstring or khakis with a belt. Neat. So we don't want to see any underwear or anything like that. We ask that our students wear Hills Academy hoodie. We don't, some kids love, if your son is a hoodie wearer, they just like being blanketed in a hoodie. We ask that it be a Hills Academy polo hoodie. Okay, but if it's just a jacket and they'll take it off, that's no problem. But you know your babies, if they're one of those kids who just love the comfort of a hoodie, it must be a Hills Academy hoodie. Also water bottle, we kind of slacked off with that. Our students began to just not bring those in with the same regularity as starting in the beginning semester. Make sure your sons have a water bottle. Also, we've already addressed the mask issue. And lastly, the students, to help with the communication with our parents, though we have GradeLink and we have Google Classroom, we feel like there's another, we heard a lot of our parents are saying, hey, there's still a missing link in this communication, and it's between our students and the parent and teacher regarding homework and things like that. So we have a binder, everybody in grades 4 through 9. High school is run a slightly different because 10th and 11th and 12th graders, different program. But if your son is in 4th through 9th grade, they'll have a white bone binder. It's called Nightly Check. So just check that nightly and just see what communication is in there. Double check your students' note taking. A lot of our students have become very reliable on Alexis, Google, and Siri, and they're just not writing as they should. And so, you know, they'll tell their parents they don't have homework, even though they're missing things. So we're going to just kind of go back to paper and pencil just to help our students with this learning process and being accountable. So look forward to that. And I know parents gave binders and things at the beginning of the semester, but we just bought a whole new shipment of white ones. They all look the same. So they know, you know, if it's missing, we know it's one of the Hills Academy nightly checks. Are there any questions? And I will let Ms. Brown talk after. Any questions?
Hi, we put in the chat asking where should we submit the negative test results? If we get forwarded, say, an email that says we're negative, do we just forward that to Ms. Brown? Do we just screenshot it? How do you want the negative or positive results reported? Thanks.
Thank you for that question. I did see that in chat. I'm getting so many, I'm trying to scroll back down. Email them to admin@hillsacademyga.com. We have gotten text messages. Some parents just text message it to us and we forward it to her so she can keep it cataloged. Ideally, just send it straight to her. So it just comes out of our hands. But if you sent it to us, you're not, you know, there's no reprimand or anything like that. But just to take out the third person, just give it straight to her. Thank you. And we'll make that clearer. That's a good question. If you do, that's good too. If you do test positive, we are asking that your son will stay home for those. They said if you've been vaccinated 5 days, not vaccinated 10 days, and return symptom free. We are aware that some people, the COVID strand stays in their system, though not contagious and not symptoms, not exhibiting any symptoms, but it still picks up on the test. We are aware of that. So even though you might take the weekly test and show up positive, we are aware of that. And certain nurses have told us that that is kind of like one of the things. Some people's bodies just carry it, though not contagious. So we're still going to do the weekly test, but please let us know if your son has COVID. We've had that case. So the students will do their homework from home, their schoolwork, when they feel strong enough. The parents have let us know, he's fine, he can do his homework. So we'll work together on that, just making sure that your student is still staying abreast regarding his learning. But if he's ill, he's ill. He's just gonna have to lay down for a couple days or up to 10 days if he just isn't feeling well. So we're aware. Thank you. That was a good question. Anybody else? Okay. Please feel free to use the chat box as you all are. And I wanted to introduce Miss Kamisha Brown. Some of you guys know her. She's a wonderful lady, and she is now, we didn't get to vote in PTA president like we should have, but it was just wild and crazy. So Miss Brown stepped up to the call, and she is committed to your sons. She's a great mom. She's committed to her baby, but I tell you, this woman is committed to your sons, and you can't ask anything more from a PTO president. And so, into the mission and vision of the program. I wanted her to talk very briefly, and then after that, we are going to go enjoy our evening, just like
After
Ms.
that,
Brown.
I'm sorry, Tiffany.
was
After that, we'll have our AD. I'm sorry. Remember, the AD is going to say something.
Okay. Should he go first then?
Yeah, let's say AD. Let's say the best for last. Not trying to put a shout out.
Yeah, to Mr. Holt. That's wrong.
Mr. Holt, you're great too. No, I'm playing, but no, we'll have Mr. Holt say something really quickly about a couple of sports we want to offer to the kids at Hills Academy, and then we'll have Miss Brown, our PTO, who is really excited to get started on working for the school. Go ahead, Holt. Yes, you're muted.
With basketball season ending, I just wanted to share with y'all, we'll be quickly coming up on track season. We're gonna start conditioning February. So the second week of February, once basketball season is over, we'll start conditioning them. That's for all basketball players. That's for those interested in soccer, and that's for track. But February is when we'll begin conditioning. Our track meets will begin in March. Season will end probably that first or second Saturday of April, depending on when the championship is. As I just mentioned, we're looking forward to having an upcoming soccer team. So be on the lookout for information in regards to that. We'll be doing pretty much, the schedule will run pretty much concurrently with track. We'll have games in March, be over by early April. But like I said, conditioning will be starting up in February, the second week, once basketball playoffs are done.
And is that 7th grade and above, or 6th and stuff?
And in regards to which sport?
The soccer.
Soccer.
Who wants to play?
Go ahead.
Anybody who wants to play. What we're gonna do, parents, is we're gonna be able to. We're gonna compete on a middle school grade level, but we know we have just a few of our older kids who want to play, and a lot of our young kids who really want to play. So Mr. Holt will be connecting with the local middle schools and also competing against some of the local private schools. So we won't be an official team in that we'll be independent, so that will allow us to allow some of our kids. We'll have some ninth graders playing, but then we'll also have some sixth graders who really love soccer to play as well. So, and I even have some fifth graders who want to play. So we'll get out there and compete. We'll be reaching out to Coach Hoke has already reached out to a couple of Newton County and County middle schools, Risa even, and then of course some of our private schools like Peachtree, Yaks, and some of the other surrounding schools. So we just want to give our kids an opportunity to have exposure and do something that's fun, and as well as build character. We also will be looking at golf, but golf will be a little bit later. I have a few people who are interested in teaching our boys about golf and working on that. So we'll keep you guys posted. And if you guys are interested, please let us know. The boys have already let us know, but we will be calling an interest meeting on that very soon, so you guys know what we're doing.
Is there anything else, Mr. Hope?
I don't have anything else. If anyone has any questions, we can go ahead and try to see if we can answer some of those. If not, then that's all for me.
And I'm glad we, and like you said, if you have a question regarding sports, let us know. We did have a very late start in this particular year in regards to our clubs, but everybody's in position right now. So our first garden club is next Friday. It's on campus during class time. So garden club is going to meet with Mr. Smith next Friday on campus. Mr. Brown, who is our robotics club sponsor, he's already bought the kit and has registered the team for their competition. I think the chess club is about to get active. They had their first meeting today. Student government is active as well. And I think those are the most active clubs right now. But if you guys have any questions regarding a particular club that your son was interested in, please let us know. But we're really looking forward to building our momentum. The garden club, I know Ms. Humphrey was interested in helping. So just reach out to Mr. Smith with that. Our goal is to fix those garden boxes and get it ready for our spring garden, spring harvest. So that is that. And Ms. Robin, is there anything you wanted to say? I see Ms. Robin is here. Is there anything you wanted to say?
No, ma'am, I'm all set.
Okay. So Ms. Robin, she's the school nutritionist too. So in regards to donations, you guys, if y'all go to the grocery store and you see some paper towels, we can use some paper towels.
Some plates.
Well, we're gonna do bags for the first month.
You know what? Actually, we probably need lunch bags, like plastic lunch bags or snack bags, if possible, since we're going to do bag lunches for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags, yes, ma'am.
So anything like that is helpful. Yes, Mr. Horn, I'm sorry.
Answer Ms. Goodall's question. So for chess, we started our meeting today with Mr. Lee. We have a chess coach and a chess sponsor. Mr. Somerville is our chess sponsor, and he'll be taking the team to Creekside, February the 5th. There are different regions. We have a middle school and a high school. Team is of 4 students. So they'll just be practicing. We're gonna have them on a computer app where today they competed against each other online, but they'll be working throughout this month and going into February, and they will go to Creekside February the 5th, I believe, during school and compete. So the chess is not really like a chess season. We just compete in the actual tournament, and if they win, they go to state. So they'll play in their region. If they win, they go to state. But all of your sons play chess once a week, and that's something we do at Hills Academy, where every student learns how to play chess. I think now we can go to Miss Brown.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Kamisha Brown. I am one of the parents. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I am one of the parents at Hills Academy. My name is Kamisha Brown. My son attends school there. He is a 5th grader. and I am the president of your PTO. And I've taken on this excitement, this assignment with full excitement, because I want our young men at Hills Academy to improve our technology there in their educational experience at Hills Academy. And along with that, we are going to be reaching out to each and every one of you guys within the next couple of weeks. And hoping that's within the next week, we'll be reaching out to you guys via email. And we're also going to set up a meeting to get together to announce this amazing fundraiser that we have, guys, that will be, to really help our school tremendously. We have the potential to, raise a goal of over $500,000, and it's going to be called our Giving Grid. I'm not going to get a lot into detail with it, but just pray about it and be thinking about it, because we're going to be reaching out to you guys, because we're going to need captains for each grade level to help participate in this. We're going to have awesome giveaways that we're going to be giving away to encourage the students along the way towards reaching this goal. And the parents, we're really looking out for you guys to help us to encourage the young men to, reach out to our community and to ask for donations to help assist our school and to give our kids the learning experience that they deserve. And I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. That is awesome. We're just so excited. We're so excited about this school year. Started off a little rough, and many of us know why. And but we're rebounding, and we're really excited about that. And Ms. Brown is one of those parts that we needed, and she has just taken it with great energy, and it's contagious. And we just thank you, Ms. Brown. So look forward to getting an email, call, or text from her. I think that is it. If there are any questions, please go ahead and raise your hand or type them in the chat box. My camera's off, I'm sorry. If you have any questions, we'll handle it now. If not, have a great day. And that's it. If you guys need masks, one place that I know that's selling them very reasonably is, gosh, I forgot. I mentioned it last time, but they're $3 for 50. And they're on Sigmund Road, Conyers Closeout Specialist. That's what it is. Or Rockdale Closeout Specialist on Sigmund Road, 50 masks. It's not the ones, Ms. Brown, that you use, Miss Isaiah Brown's mom. The MP, what are the 95 ones? I know I'm saying them wrong, but they sell the regular paper ones for 50 for $3. So if you guys need those, yeah, thank you. But yeah, so that's that. Are there any questions? I'll email this video, Miss Kanangela, with the PowerPoint, and I'm gonna try. My hardest thing is trying to save this discussion thread. I think I can do that. But have a good evening. It is no good. It's not 7:20. Have a good evening. We love and appreciate each and every one of you all. Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
We love and appreciate you too. Thank you, Hill family.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye-bye.